Happy Tangled Tuesday, everyone. And for today's project to work on, or this week's sort of thought to mull around in your head about Tangled Tuesdays, are some of our repeated patterns. I hate it when I do this thing, or I can't stand that I do this thing. Those repetitive patterns in ourselves that maybe we're wrestling our whole life. Could be self-abusive patterns, could be addictive behaviors, could be just non-supportive comments inside our own head when we're addressing a certain particular problem. You'll find something. There are always these repetitive nooks and crannies where you might catch yourself saying, oh, I always do this thing. I can't stand this thing I do, or I need to stop doing this particular thing, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is. And for this Tangled Tuesday, after you are able to address the particular thing, or maybe you have several, I have several, but you think about just one particular repetitive pattern that you're trying to work with and that you're looking to alleviate or levy in your life, and you've been grappling with it maybe for a while. For me, a little bit of negative talk, like, ready for the negative answer instead of the positive happens to me a lot in my own head. I catch myself. So I'm just using that as my example. But the bigger question won't be, how do I stop doing that? Is that for Tangled Tuesday, I want you to ask yourself, what is the feed I get off of that? Almost like a vampire feeds off of somebody. We feed off of our repeated psychological patterns, or our repeated behavioral patterns feed a need in us somewhere. And sometimes it's not an obvious place. It's not about who to blame for our pattern or blaming anybody, including blaming ourselves. More important is to ask, what do I get from that my mind keeps wanting? What is it that I'm feeding off of that is the bigger addiction? What emotional state of being am I attached to so severely that I'm having trouble breaking a patterned behavior in my life that creates the feed that I get from it? Because deeper down than our action and our behavior is what it does for us, how it affects us, and what this repetitive pattern is. So I want you to figure out what it is that you're feeding from the low vibrational repetitive pattern. It could be, I don't know, it could be anything that you just can't stand. How easily angry you get over a particular topic. Possibly. Oh, this one topic, I just can't talk about it neutral. I can't be neutral. I get so angry every time. I hate when I do that. I hate when I do that. I can't stand it when I do that. Those are the ones I want you to catch this week, is when it's something about you that you wish you didn't do. Oh, I wish I didn't do this. And my thought is, okay, if you wish you didn't do it, then let's dissect it enough so that you can stop doing it. Or maybe part of you, somewhere deep inside, feeds off of it when you do it, and it's making stopping it harder to do because you don't have a replacement feeling to put in there, or you don't have something to feed off of in place of that behavior. It's worth thinking about. It's kind of an abstract, weird theory, but oftentimes the way to stop ourselves once and for all from something that seems to plague us in our life is to take it 3 or 4 steps deeper than just, I need to stop this particular thing, it must stop now, is to understand, why is it so difficult for me to stop? Why is my brain or my psychology still needing me to continue to do this? And what do I replace it with that gives me a better feed? A self-loving feed, or a helpful feed. So as we address it, you also want to wrap your head around, what do I give myself to replace the feed that I get from the thing that balances it so I prefer my new feed instead of the old pattern. Kind of fun, this one. This is interesting. It's a deep dive into your own psychology. Have a wonderful Tangled Tuesday. I know I'm gonna.